For leg lowers, you start in the traditional pelvic tilt position. I use this position in a lot of exercises because it's really easy on the back and it's easy on the abs. I have a lot of rib issues too, and I know several of my friends do as well, so this really keeps from being agitated as much. For this, you're going to loop your leg in, whichever leg you want to start with. I'm going to start with my right, and you're just going to lay it flat. The other one will remain bent at a 45-degree angle, and you're still going to tuck your pelvis from this position. You won't necessarily get as low with your leg being straightened. That kind of tilts your tailbone a little more towards the ground with that gravity. But definitely tilt your pelvis and flatten the spine to the ground as much as you possibly can, and then use all of your arm weight to lift this leg here. And lift it up as much as you can. If you can't lift it this high, then that's totally fine. I am extremely hypermobile with my Ehlers-Danlos, so you can go wherever you need to. It's totally fine. Hold here, and then the key here is to lower the leg, keeping that core engaged, spine to the ground, and lower it as slow as you can, and not let it just like drop. This really works your hip flexors here. This is probably the best exercise that I ever could have done to help me get walking again on my own without crutches. I do use a cane every now and then, you will see, but that's really only because of the labrum pain that I'm having, not necessarily because of any of the tendonitis or bursitis that I was having before. Alright, let's do 3 more of these. This is really like a full leg workout. You'll feel it in your quads, you'll feel it in your hamstrings. You'll also even feel some of it in the glute area. Just really maintain that core tightening, that pelvic tilt the entire time, just so you don't start to have any lower back pain. Of course, if you have low back pain before 5, again, just stop, because that means that you're not working your abs properly. So, we don't want to cause any more damage. Now, we're going to start with the left leg now. I like to try to do at least 2 sets of 5. You want to always work your way up to 30. But for these little how-to videos, we're going to show you at least 2 sets of 5. Alright, let's start with the left leg. And up. This elastic band makes the up a little drastic sometimes, but it works well. And if you feel any like shaking or wiggling in your leg, that's totally normal. You may be seeing mine do this at the moment. It's good. It's kind of making the muscle happy. It needs to be worked out. It's also a little bit tired, but the goal here is to strengthen the muscle. So you don't want to get too crazy, but it shouldn't be like shaking like this unless you're like, stretching. Then that's another thing. It's happy for it. But again, with Ehlers-Danlos, you shouldn't stretch too much as it is. If you need to, take a little bit of a breather, release the spine, wiggle out the hips, readjust your position, and then we'll move on to the right side. And we'll do just another set here on each leg. And remember that when you're pulling up on the rope, you're not using any of the strength with the leg. You're only using your upper body strength and lower slowly as you possibly can. Remain that core extremely tight. And lower, nice and slow. Alright, I like to just switch over here. It's much easier. Now, bring that left leg up and lower, up and lower. Keeping that core nice and tight, trying to not let it release as you lower that leg. It's harder at the end. It's much more strenuous. Every now and then my SI joint likes to pop a little bit, especially on the left side. Since I had an injection, it wasn't that bad, but sometimes it comes back every now and then. Now, that is exactly how you do the leg lowers, and it's probably one of my favorite exercises to do whenever my hip flexors or anything around my hip socket tries to give me any issues with connective tissue. That's a really good one to use, so I hope you enjoy it. And again, try to work your way up to 30 and see how that does for you. So have a good day, and I'll see you in my next videos.